It is snowing, y'all. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I feel like I always start my video with this. Hi guys, like if you don't know me, I was a dancer and this is just like such a dancer move. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Daneishacummins and I make lifestyle related content here on YouTube. If you are an OG subscriber, welcome back. Welcome. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for subscribing and liking my past videos. It is really helping my channel, y'all. For this year 2023, my goal is to get monetized so I can make some money. So your likes, your comments, your engagement really helps my channel. So I just want to give you a few seconds, if you have not done so already, to go and subscribe, to go and hit the subscription button now and maybe like my last videos. I can just give you a few seconds. Okay, we back. But today's video is going to be just a conversation about winter in Canada. I have been here for about 4 years now, or 5 years. I don't know because it's a new year, but I have been here for quite some time and I have experienced a number of winters here, and I feel this video is not for Canadian people or people who already live in Canada or cold countries. This is more for someone who is experiencing a country such as Canada. It doesn't have to be Canada, but experiencing a country where there is winter and summer and spring and you're not really quite sure how to prepare for the season. So I'm coming to you with this video just to chit chat about things that I think would be super helpful for you to know when you are looking to come to Canada or a country that has winter. So if you're interested in seeing what I have to say, then stay tuned. So the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to preparation for winter is clothing. Clothing to me is so essential, and as a Caribbean woman coming from Barbados, I accustomed to just putting on my clothes and rolling and heading out through the door and just be like, bye. However, I have learned that things are quite different here in Canada, especially when it comes to winters. Oh my goodness, the amount of layers and clothing that I have to put on just to leave my house, it's crazy. I don't think I'll ever get over it. But in terms of clothing, I want to talk specifically about the jacket. So when I first came to Canada, I didn't really have much money. My budget was a little bit tight. So in terms of being able to invest in quality winter clothes, I was not able to do that, or a quality winter jacket I should say. I was not able to do that at the time, and let's just say that I decided that the next year this was not going to be me, because I realized the importance of having a warm jacket, especially knowing that I have not been living in Canada or living in a country that has that does have a season of winter. So it was just a bit of a thing that I had to get used to. So initially I used to go to thrift stores and get my jackets there, because at the end of the day, as I said, like my budget was tight. I was on the student budget and I wanted to maximize on getting bargains and on saving money. So I went to the thrift stores. But since being here, I have been able to invest in a quality jacket. If there's anything that I think you should splurge on, splurge being relative depending on your budget, is a jacket. So the jacket that I have is from this brand called Aritzia, or TNA. I think TNA is one of the brands under the Aritzia brand, the Aritzia umbrella. I don't know, but I think that that's the way it is. So I have a TNA jacket, and this is the second jacket that I have bought from them. The first jacket got too small, like, you know, COVID happened, your girl got a little weight, you know, get a little ticky, and then I had to get another jacket. So I would say like the price range for this jacket was between about 300 Canadian and 400 Canadian dollars. And honestly, when I tell you in terms of the warmth, I have no issues, no problem. The hood is detachable, so if it's like not, like if it's not snowing or it's not windy, like I can always take off the hood and wear it just as like a jacket. But this jacket also has down feathers, which is something that is really important in terms of keeping you warm in the winter. I believe it goes down to -30 degrees. If not, I'll put the correct degrees on the screen. But as I said, like a quality jacket is just something that I think is so important, especially if you are going to be commuting and outside on a regular basis. I think it is definitely something that you should think about. There are different brands. I know my husband is a big fan of North Face. I don't know if North Face is sponsor he, because the way he's be talking about it is just be like, this guy, like, you know, there are other brands, but there's North Face, there's Eddie Bauer. What other brands are there? Columbia, Point Zero. It's slipping me now, but there are also other brands that you can explore. Like if you are in Canada, you could probably go to, there is Canada Goose, as my husband mentioned. He's in the background, but there's Canada Goose, but Canada Goose is not on my budget, y'all. Canada Goose, I just yeah, it's not on my budget. But in terms of quality, I would say the TNA Aritzia jacket is one to look at, or maybe another brand that you find, you know, super helpful for you and one that you like. So that is my first recommendation, is a quality jacket, because we not finna be out in these streets cold and shivering. It's a no for me. As a Caribbean person, I don't like to be cold, so I like, when I tell you guys this is important to me, understand the depth that I am talking about. Next, I have my butt here, so if you guys see me looking down, I just got like my notepad so I won't forget. Next, we are going to talk about under your jacket, like how do you start to build layers. So one of the things that I have also been a key advocate for is thermals. Guys, thermals are God's greatest gift to me, apart from my husband and my family. But when I tell you, like, thermals really helped me, especially in the initial months that I was here for the winter. There's no way that I could truly convey how these thermals saved my life. The thermals that I would suggest or recommend is from this brand called Uniqlo. It is an Asian brand, very minimal, like there's no like logo on the clothing. Everything is just kind of basic, bland, you know, like general stuff. But the quality of the things, they have this technology called heat tech that they put into their thermals that keeps you really warm. So I had stocked up on a few thermals this winter. So I got like an undershirt, a long sleeve undershirt. I got these ultra warm leggings that are fleece lined, and I also got the extra warm leggings. And when I tell y'all, like, these things are just the greatest. Like, they do keep me warm, and I can tell the difference when I don't have the undershirt and the leggings. I would say for sure the socks, I don't really think it's here or there for me, but thermals, very important to keeping you warm underneath your clothing. So the next thing I want to talk about is also fleece line leggings. So there are thermals that also has fleece line, and then there are also some other leggings that I usually get from the brand. What is the brand name now? Just Cozy. If you know Toronto, if you know Canada, you know Just Cozy. They usually have like a lot of sales, like a leggings for $10, you know, a lot of sales that makes it very affordable and budget friendly when you're preparing for winter. These are not thermal leggings, but they are fur lined. So like when you turn them over, lined inside, warm, cozy, not giving the same energy as the thermals. And I wouldn't suggest wearing thermals under these fur-lined leggings because like, you're doing the absolute most now. But the fur-lined leggings is a nice alternative for the day where you don't want to wear the thermals, or if you know the day is just really not that cool but you still want to be cozy. So I would also recommend the leggings from Just Cozy. They have so many different patterns, but I just find myself keep going back to black and the solid colors because those are things that I would wear more so rather than pattern stuff. So that is also another item to keep in mind. Next thing on my list is winter boots. So shoes and the jacket, like even if you don't buy the thermals, even if you don't buy the fur-lined leggings, pay special attention to your boots because you're going to be wearing these for at least 4 months straight. When I first came, again, like my budget was real tight, so I was not able to splurge on quality shoes at the time, and I had just bought some cheap shoes that I could afford to kind of hold me over. Again, after that winter, I don't think I waited till the winter to finish. I think I had to just go and buy proper shoes because I realized like, yeah, like first of all, outside is slippery and wet. You don't want to fall down, so you want to make sure that the shoes that you get are good quality, they have good traction underneath. Two, the shoes that I had was suede. Don't ask me why I thought it was a good idea to get winter boots that are suede. Just don't ask. But the shoes that I got were suede, and really and truly they did not do the job, so I actually had to then go and buy some quality shoes. And the shoes that I bought are from this Australian brand called Stone. They're very minimal, nothing too much to shout about. I did not want, and this is me, like I want to be looking cute and warm at the same time, which is very hard to balance. But I didn't really personally like the tall fur boots. That's just not my style. So these ones are very minimal. I have had these for about 3 years now and never an issue. I just kind of treat the leather with some I can't even talk. I treat the leather with some polish every now and again. They do have a thermal sole inside the shoe that helps to heat up my feet, so I don't necessarily need to like have thermal socks because I know my shoes are already like doing that job for me. But these Stone boots, I got them from, I believe it's called SoftMoc. If you're in Canada, if you know, you know. It's either SoftMoc or Browns, but I'm pretty sure that if you Google them, like you could get them from wherever. But these shoes, as I said, I have had these for the past 3 years. No issues at all, no problems, and I just think that the investment was worth it. So I would say at the time that I bought them, I believe they were between $200 to $300. I can't remember the exact price. If I could find it and just pop it up on the screen. But those are the winter boots that have been holding me down. Never had a slip, never had a fall, by the grace of God just be keeping your girl. But never had any issues in terms of the shoes during the winter. Like I know like people will be watching out for black ice and stuff like that, but that was never an issue for me. So I find like those were a good investment and good quality shoes. There's also other brands, as I said, it's similar to the jackets. I know North Face has a really good boot, Columbia has a really good boot, and there are all types of other brands, but you choose based on what your budget is and what you like. But if I had to say out of the things that I have mentioned related to clothing, if there were 2 things that I could recommend, it is a quality jacket and a quality shoe that you would never go wrong and you would thank me later. Okay, so we talked about clothing. Next thing I want to get into is body care. So as a melanated queen, the winter just don't be, you know, doing it for me in terms of my body. I feel like when outside cold, like we all turn on the heat, and then when the heat is on, you know, things get dry, your skin gets dry, your ears get dry, like everything is just dry. And these little lotions don't really be doing it for me. If you see my other video, you knew that I created, you know that I created a DIY shea butter something for myself, because I have found, like, over the years, don't matter what I use, like, my skin used to just be dry, and I don't really like, it's very uncomfortable for me to have dry skin. So I'm like, you know what, I need to do something differently. So for the past, I think I started creating the shea butter like last year. This is my second year creating it, and I think like this has just been phenomenal in terms of keeping my skin moisturized and keeping me comfortable in the winter. And it just works for me. It's very affordable. As I said, like in my last video, I had made a few containers, like a few batches that I know are going to last me. The last batch that I had lasted me a year, but you really want to pay attention to the things that you're putting on your body, like not bathing in hot water. I am such a hot water person. Like if the water ain't hot, then are you even bathing? But I have learned that sometimes like that could even be more drying. So I would try, still trying, it's still something that I need to work on, but not to always shower in hot water, and try to moisturize my skin as soon as I come out the bath. So I would say just know that your skin just need extra love when it comes to the winter season, and make sure that you are intentional about the products that you use, because you want to make sure that your skin is still giving, especially in the winter season. So I do shea butter in terms of my skin. For my lips, guys, this brand needs to sponsor me, because Blistex, I have been promoting your products. I have tried so many lip balms, but I always find myself coming back to this this Blistex brand. It has just been, this is one focus. Oh, this Blistex lip balm. It is a medicated lip ointment, and this is the only thing that I find works for me in terms of preventing like cracking and dryness. Put this on, and my lips are just, do I have to even say? Anyways, so I would say make sure that you find and that you wear lip balm on top of being hydrated and drinking lots of water in the winter. As I say, the heat, when the heat is on, that you really need to up your water intake, because it literally feels like, oh my gosh, like this liquid is just leaving my skin, leaving my body. So I would say be sure to look into lip balm that works for you. Some people use Vaseline. There's the EOS, like the little ball. I remember the ball. That is also really good, but I just keep coming back to my little Blistex. And I have this in every jacket, every bag, every pocket. You would never ever catch me without lip balm. It's just an immediate no for me, because I have had dry lips, and when I tell you, dry lips, cracked lips, it's just not what you want to be doing in the winter season. It's not what you want to be doing ever, really. No. The next thing I want to talk about is a humidifier. So I did not know what a humidifier was until I came to Canada, and again, going back to like the heat being on, pulling moisture out of the air, I have found that again, like my skin, I used to be really dry, but having a humidifier really helps to put back moisture in the air. So a humidifier, you just fill it up with water and literally press the button, and it disperses water in the air over a period of time, and I find that to be really helpful. That has helped me. I used to be waking up with, when I tell you, my throat used to be so dry. My throat used to be so dry, but I found that with the humidifier, it really helped me to kind of retain moisture in my skin, and that was really helpful. I got one from Amazon. I could link the one that I got in the description box if it's still available. So just make sure that the size of the humidifier makes sense for the room that you're putting it in. You want to make sure that, you know, the whole room is being not impacted. Humidified. The whole room is being humidified. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think when I understand what I'm trying to say, like, yeah, so a humidifier again is very essential, and we usually sleep with our humidifier on throughout the night, and then in the morning, you know, turn it off. Make sure that you clean your humidifier at least on a weekly basis, guys, because you're putting water into a container, you know, consistently. You want to make sure that it is sanitary and that the water that is being dispersed, it is clean. So I would also, just a little sidebar, you know, to make sure that you clean your humidifier at least every week or bi-weekly. You could use like Clorox, you could use soap, you could use vinegar, you know, whatever, to help with the buildup of the water. So that is in terms of body care. The next thing is vitamins. If you are already not taking your multivitamin during the summer or during the fall, then what are you doing? Honestly, like, vitamins they really play an integral role in making sure that our bodies are healthy, our brains are healthy. And one of the vitamins that I really find, you know, important is vitamin D. I am not a physician, so I'm not giving you any medical advice. I'm just telling you from my experience what I think is essential in terms of preparation for the winter. I know in the winter month there's not much sun happening, and we need vitamin D for our bodies and our skin. And with that being said, like, sometimes in the winter there could be a deficiency in vitamin D, and that plays a role in our overall bodies and how it functions. So I take vitamin D separately from my multivitamin. So I have a multivitamin, and then I have a separate vitamin D supplement. There's also vitamin B12 that has also showed some benefits in terms of maintaining your mood and your health over the winter. So I would also recommend having your multivitamin, your vitamin D supplements, vitamin B supplements. I also take vitamin C supplements because in the winter there's also a lot of colds and flu going around, and we all know what really happening, you know, outside of the cold and flu season. So we want to make sure that our immune systems are ready and prepared for the winter season. Again, talk to your physician, your family doctor, before taking any vitamins or anything that I have recommended, because again, I am not a physician. So I would say get some medical advice. There's a lot of research that you could also do on your own if you have questions or wondering, like, what are the benefits of each of the things that I have mentioned. So moving on to the last category. So I have talked about clothing, you know, preparing your physical body. I have talked about body care, moisturizing your lips and all that stuff. And I want to get down to a topic, not that I left it for last because it's the least important, but just so that I could spend some time really talking to you guys about this is your mental health. So for me, speaking for myself, growing up in the Caribbean, just is a different vibe from winter. Winter, I actually do not like winter. Winter is not one of my favorite months. I have come to tolerate winter more so than hating it now. I think, like, winter is something that I know is going to come every single year, and there's nothing that I could do to expedite it or to stop it. It is just winter, and that is just what it is. But I find like my approach to winter is different compared to other years or my initial years. Winter for me used to be very depressing because, like, everything dead around you. Like, it's no leaves on the tree, you ain't seeing the grass, you ain't seeing the birds, you ain't see, all you're seeing is like snow and deadness. Snow and deadness all around, like, when you look over. And for me, that was just really hard to deal with and to cope with. And then on top of that, it cold. On top of that, the sun ain't even shining. On top of that, who really want to be out in the winter walking about? Like, it just was not for me. But I have found, you know, in order for me to, you know, make it through the winter, it is good to have a plan. I know some people also suffer from seasonal depression, which is also known as SAD. I don't think that I was diagnosed with seasonal depression. It has affected my mood, where I felt a little low moods and not really wanting to do anything and engage in anything just because of how outside was. So for me, the things that have worked is, one, just acknowledging and accepting that winter is winter and it's not gonna last forever, and how could you, you know, plan for yourself? How could you, you know, sustain yourself during these months in a way that is healthy and does not lead to depression? I have sought the advice of a professional. Like, you know, I am a social worker, but it all goes back to who counsels the counselor, like who social works the social worker. So I have engaged in therapy for myself to help me manage my, you know, seasonal depression, just to figure out, you know, Daneisha, like, what can you do to make it easier, at least for the next few months. I have also been trying to, you know, engaging activities that are more enjoyable, like things to do to get me up. Like, I've been exercising more. I look for activities that takes me outside, like I would meet up with friends or go to different restaurants. Do something exciting that would help me to not hate winter as much. I would also like, I have plants all around me that would encourage like life, and I find like taking care of my plants are taking care of something else other than myself and my husband really helps me. Like, I'm not really like I wouldn't say like as a professional gardener or anything like that, but the fact that I could nurture something throughout this time and see it bear fruit or leaves or whatever, I think is also has been really helpful for me. I have also just surrounded myself and talked to a lot of my community. You know, you guys know who you are, and I'm so grateful for you. And I think like in winter, especially maybe as a new person coming to Canada, maybe you are an international student coming to Canada, it is really hard that you're leaving a place that you have known, for a place that you have now, for a place that you're now getting to know in a season which is very different from what you are accustomed to. So in terms of your mental health, I think it is very key. I know some people would use like a light to do like therapy on themselves to, like, you know, help with the boosting of the mood, but there are many other things that you could do, many activities that you could do. But I would say first, just acknowledging that yes, winter can have a toll on your mental health. However, you don't have to suffer, or you don't have to go through winter feeling that way. Like, there are tools, there are resources, but some of the things that I have found helpful again was community, was connecting to a therapist, was having plants, was doing enjoyable activities. Those are not all of the things that I do, but they're just some of the things that I found really helpful for me. So that is my little spiel on winter preparation and things that I think are essential to know and important when it comes to winter preparation. If you have any questions or thoughts, or maybe there's something that you do differently and you want to share, or maybe there's something that I said that you have some questions about, feel free to sound off in the comments, guys. I am really trying to engage more in the comment section. Please, even if there's something that I said, thought, like whatever it is, just, you know, try to engage with me in the comments. Like, I really be looking forward to it. So yeah, sound off in the comments below, and stay tuned to my next video. I really do enjoy making content, and it's something that I want to be intentional about coming into this new year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you in my next video. So guys, this is what you should prepare for winter. Maybe in the middle of the store somewhere, just so you get to I got the winter preparation. Imagine, this is just a little taste of what is in the winter.